Then here I'm unbolting the subframe, the front subframe. I definitely didn't go about this the easiest way either. You'll see, I'll fast forward through here, you'll see what I mean. It's one of those things you just gotta pay attention to what you're doing, and I was just kind of moving too fast and didn't pay attention to the other things that were still connected here, or how I was balancing out that subframe. But I will say, taking that steering column out from in there made that kind of easier than I used to just unbolt that power steering rack and just leave it there. But this way I can drop everything, because like I said, I was going to end up painting that engine bay. And removing that oil cooler there. And that's something you always see me doing, is putting bolts back where I got them from. That way I don't lose them, and that way I know where stuff went. I'm just unbolting some of the power steering line bolts there that are holding up this line that runs all the way up to the front. See it drop there. There's the power steering pump, and me struggling to get that thing out because of that ACD line underneath. Then I drop the car. And put it on jack stands, and this is where I did not do a very good job of trying to figure out the balance of that front subframe there. I get the bolts undone. Then you see me raise it, and that subframe falls on its face. Wasn't very smart. Then also, if you pay attention over here, when I start raising it more, I forgot to unplug the ABS sensor going to that hub there on this side. And you'll see me, thankfully I caught it, but you see it start to pull up right here. And I didn't rip that one, thankfully, I got lucky. But the one on the driver's side I did rip, and I had to repin it and get a connector for that. So that's me taking that connector off, thankfully. And then this line here you see me messing with right now is the ACD line. So I put a bolt in there to hold that up temporarily. Fix my mess up there. Put it on some wheel dollies and roll it off to the side here. And then this is where I dropped the ACD pump. Taking that first one out, first screw out. And then all the bolts that are holding in that pump. And you see me taking pictures there, that way I know where to put everything back. Lots and lots of pictures. That helped a lot in putting the car back together. So I highly recommend taking pictures. There we go, got the pump out. Put it off to the side. Put those bolts back. And then here, I'm trying to remove that mat that's on the firewall there. I'm taking these other clips out of the engine bay that held like brake lines and stuff like that first, but there's some that run across the back side of that firewall, and I remove that out. So that's it for this video. Like I said, I will be putting some pictures up at the end. That way you can see the fuel tank, and if I have some other stuff, I'll throw it in there, and I'll describe what I was doing in there, and that'll end this video. I might break this video into two because I'm sure it's pretty long, but it'll show the fuel tank, and I don't think I got any pictures of me actually sandblasting it, but once I get those up into the video, I'll describe those more. Alright, you guys, so I uploaded these pictures, that way we can go over the fuel tank. So that's what the fuel tank looked like when I first pulled it out. Nice and rusty. Definitely needed a lot of work. So I drilled out those holes there, that way I can pull off the guard on the bottom so I can get any rust off of that too. You see there how it's disconnected from the tank. It was pretty simple. It's just like little pressed, kind of like they pinched it together, and you can just drill them out and it falls right out. I actually ended up not reusing that too, so. Here you can see I use a wire brush to remove a lot of that rust. Initially I still have everything capped and plugged, that way no rust or debris gets in the tank. That's what it looks like after the first pass with the wire brush. This cleans up pretty good, but you can see how much rust was on there still. There I started DAing it, or sanding it. That way I can remove as much rust as I can before I started sandblasting it. I did not get any pictures of me sandblasting it though. There's a piece I did pull off to sandblast first, and then I also painted that. It turned out pretty good. That's what it looks like painted. Then that's after the first coat of Por 15. Now, like I said, I did sandblast it first, and then I retaped everything up again, and that's after 4 coats. I was done. I was just waiting on a couple parts. And then the last piece here, pick here, you see is after it's completely done, right before I throw it in the car. You see I got the radium fuel pump in there. But that's it for now. I will be adding another couple videos, or the other videos that I have, for the underbody, and then what it looks like when the engine bay was painted, and the underbody was also painted. And then I'm also going to add the putting the engine in the car, and I also have a little bit of me finishing up the engine itself before I bolted the transmission to it and then put it in the car. So stay tuned. I will have all that stuff up, and I'll see you next time.